keep up with your style. I can't keep up with your style.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Eric here with No Loss Production, and today I'm going to go over something that I've been trying to explain before, but I had never made a video over it, and that's DMZing your system. Now, for those that don't know, DMZ is called Demilitarized Zone. Basically, what you're doing is releasing that firewall off of your system. So I wouldn't recommend doing this on your desktop, phones, tablets. I would not recommend this at all. So, with that being said, there is no danger of doing it to your consoles because usually you get on your console, you're just there to play. And if you're there and your console is your main web surfing and all that stuff, I would not recommend doing it. But most people don't even use it for that. It's just usually for gaming or Hulu or Netflix. But either way, it's not going to hurt if you're doing those. But web surfing, I wouldn't recommend doing it if that's what you. So basically, what we do is we grab a router, and if it's regular from the company, or we go out and we buy one, whether it's a AC 1900 or a Netgear, 3600 or whatever, we just come home, we plug it up, we set it up, we do the auto setup, and we sit back and we let everything handle it, and then we're like, okay, it's all good, and you jump on, and you're having NAT type issues, you're not able to talk to your friends, or having issues with generally it's a bigger issue in Call of Duty than it is in game. But so basically you're like, oh man, I just bought this router, or I just got fiber optic, I shouldn't be having issues. The issue isn't your internet or your router, it's your settings. So whether it's from the company, like Spectrum or AT&T or Infinity or whoever else is out there, basically it's your settings. So we're going to go over that portion, and it's called DMZing, and that's going to fix a lot of the issues that you might have on your PlayStation or Xbox. Now, how do you log into your routers? All routers have information on the back of it, and they start off pretty simple, whether it's like, admin and admin, or password and password, or 123, 123. And so it's all about the same. They all generally are easy to log into, and what you do is you'll say, like, go here to aces.router.com, and you'll log in, and you'll see something like this. If you have an Asus, if you have a Netgear, you'll see something like this. Linux or a Link system is like this. So basically, there are all kinds of difference. And what I'm going to do is show you how to DMZ a system. Now, this is going to work great for people that run off of wireless. If you're running wired, you can still DMZ your system, but I mean, really, there's no point to. So what you're going to do is you're going to log into your Aces or whatever, and if you're on Aces if you're on Aces, this is what you're going to see. There's General and there's Advanced. Now there's two options in Aces, and some of the newer systems have them as well, but what you'll do is you'll go down to Advanced, and you'll hit WAN, and then you'll go all the way over to your DMZ tab. So you'll see internet connection, dual WAN, port trigger, port forwarding, so forth, so forth. You'll see DMZ, and you'll enable it, and then you'll type in your IP address. Now, where do you get this IP address from? Well, if you're on Xbox, you go to your settings, and you go to your IP settings, and it'll show you here, IP and subnet. Well, all you need is your IP address for Asus. Some of the others are a little different. But if you're on PS4, you'll have to go to settings and down to system information and get your IP address from there. Now, all these IP addresses that you're seeing, they're not real. They're made up, or they're put up here by the companies. I'm not very good at editing out and blurring, so I wasn't going to put my information out there because Lord knows I'd probably mess that up. So anyways, so if you see an IP address, don't get triggered, or be like, oh, it's an IP address. Oh no, you're not supposed to show that. They're all not real. They're all fake, made up through the companies. These are basically pictures I grabbed from the company, like through the walkthrough on how to do your setup systems and stuff like that. They'll give you fake IP addresses and stuff during the video. So anyways, I get distracted pretty easily. So sorry for the ramble. Anyways, so if you're not in Asus, but say you have a Netgear, well, with Netgear, it's got I think, I'm trying to remember this one. It's been a while since I've looked at it. I don't think this one has an advanced. You'll see like blogs and blog sites and so on, so forth. Further down, you'll see something say WAN. If you don't see WAN, then it's under advanced settings, but it's under WAN. You'll hit the WAN setup, and here you'll hit the default DMZ, and you'll type in the IP address there and hit apply, and you're done. I wouldn't really mess with the MTU size and the bits and all that stuff, because if you don't know what you're doing and you hit the wrong numbers, or you put too large of a number in there, you're going to cause yourself a lot more headache than you actually were intended to. So don't think that you're going to go in there and hit a bunch of stuff and you're going to fry your system. You're never going to be able to fix it. If you mess it up, there's a reset button on the back. So you just reset it, or you can hit the factory reset button in there, and it resets everything, and you can go back and everything will be fixed. So don't be afraid to play around and learn the stuff, but if you don't know what something is, I wouldn't mess with it too much. Anyways, now there's some setups that look like this, and you'll have to go under network configuration and look for DMZ settings. And then from there, you'll say yes. You'll always have to enable it, because most of the time it's disabled. So you'll hit the IP address and your subnet mask. This one requires both, which once again, you will see in the images there where it says subnet. And this one over here also offers it. Well, actually, this one doesn't actually say subnet mask. So personally, with this one, I would use the default, which is usually your 255.255.255.0. And generally, you shouldn't experience any issues. That's a very default subnet mask, and they even show it here. Generally, if you look at your IP address on your PC, 90% of a chance is going to be that 255 number, just because it's a very common subnet. Anyways, so don't panic too bad if you don't see a subnet mask to put in. So anyways, so we're moving on. And if you see links, which some companies do this, I think it's Time Warner that passes these out, and they're kind of a pain. They might have updated their system since, but if they haven't, then you're looking at a router like this. It's kind of like it'll say Netgear on the side, but it's running Linux link systems and all that stuff. So anyways, you'll log in however it tells you to log in. You'll see setup wireless. This one doesn't have an advanced tab. Basically, what you're going to do is go to applications gaming, and then you'll have to look for DMZ. Click it, and then it'll just ask for the IP address, and you type that information. And that's it. That's what DMZ is. Now, what happens if you go into your system and you look and you look and you look and you can't find your DMZ? What if you can't find DMZ? What if it's just not freaking there, man? Well, you can just go to port forwarding and input the same information for it. So just same thing. Enable your port forwarding, put in your IP address, and it might ask for a little bit more details, but it's basically all there from copying over. It might ask for your MAC ID, which most of them do if you do port forwarding. So you'll look for your wired MAC and your wireless MAC, and it'll ask for your primary DNS and your secondary DNS, your gateway. It asks for all of this. So that's why DMZ is a lot simpler. It's usually one or two numbers that you pop in, and it'll ask for your IP address usually, and that's it, or if it asks for a subnet. Whereas you go port forwarding, it asks for a little bit more information. But say you don't want to do that or whatever. A lot of systems also nowadays, I think it started back in late 2017 with the updates. Something called QoS started coming out, and this one is from Asus, but now they have them all over. Like they might call them POI, a point of interest, or a quick QoS for the system or whatever, adaptive QoS, so it learns how the internet works in your house. So basically, when you get it, this is what it looks like when you first start out. So if you just plug it in and you just plug and go, and then you're like, oh man, I'm getting crappy service to my gaming system. Well, this is why. Because you're saying that web surfing and VOP and instant messaging and video and audio streaming takes the highest priority over your gaming. So what you do is you just click it and drag it up wherever you want it. So if video and messaging is super important to you and gaming is second, well, then that's all you do is just drag it and then you hit save. That's it. So you have other options here under some stuff. Now, I had an Asus before. That's why I know about the QoS, but I know Netgear has something a lot like that. And I know the Spectrum one had something kind of like that, but it wasn't as good as the Asus one. So basically, you just go under whatever your adaptive QoS is, or QoP, or POI, or whatever else the other systems want to call their stuff. You kind of change it around, make gaming first. Now, people that are running LAN cables into their systems, it's not a problem. But if you're living in a place where you can't run a LAN cable, or you're 60 feet away or 100 feet away from your router, well, then these little bit of steps are going to help you out in a long way if you can't run a LAN cable. So that's about it. I hope I answered people's questions. I know I kind of went through it kind of quickly, because if I didn't, I'd get just stuck and babble. And I really wasn't trying to make it a super long video. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. I will be glad to help you out as best as I can. I know I didn't cover all the routers and systems out there because there's just way too many. And there's just no way. All the ACEs are going to run the same. 90% of the Netgears are going to run the same. Some of them are called Netgear Genies, and then you have to kind of go through that. But it's maybe one extra step jumping through, but it's not too terribly bad. But yeah, there's just way too many systems to be going through all the setups. So basically, that's it. So if you get a router and you come home and plug it in and it's not working for you, or you've had a router and you're constantly losing internet, or everybody's on the internet and you're just like, oh, I can't even get any decent service in here, that's going to fix a lot of this. So I hope that helped out. You guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and Godspeed.
I can't keep up with your style.